Hello everyone, welcome to this segment of the National EMS Academy's online EMT program. In this lesson I'll be covering the integumentary system. We'll review its function and parts, and I'll throw in a little extra info in regards to how the skin helps us in patient assessment. First, let's talk a little about function. Now, the integumentary system consists of the skin and the various structures contained within the skin. The skin is considered an organ. I know that seems kind of odd. We tend to think of organs as parts that are localized in one area, like the brain or the heart, but the skin is an organ, and it's an important one. So what does it do besides make you look pretty and grow hair? Well, let's talk about it. First, our skin is a protective organ. It keeps stuff outside that should stay outside. It's a barrier for germs, dirt, and things like that. When broken, obviously, this stuff can get in and make us sick. It also helps us keep stuff inside that should stay inside. One of the most important things our skin keeps inside us is water. It's a waterproof layer that keeps us from drying up. One of the major issues in burn patients is loss of this waterproof barrier and the significant fluid loss that can occur. Our skin also helps us control the internal temperature. Through perspiration and the evaporative cooling process, we're able to tolerate hot environments. Finally, the skin is an important receptor organ. Millions of nerve endings allow us to feel heat, cold, pain, pressure, and that gentle touch of someone special. Now let's review the parts. The skin is composed of three layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous layer. Some texts now refer to the subcutaneous layer as the hypodermis. I'll talk about each of these separately, starting with the epidermis. The prefix epi means on top of, so the epidermis is on top of the dermis. There are actually several layers in the epidermis, but the one that I want to call your attention to, the stratum germinativum, or germ layer, this is where new epidermal skin cells are created. Each new layer of cells pushes the last layer upward toward the surface. As the cells move further away from the blood vessels, they die, and a glue made by the cells called keratin binds them together to make the waterproof barrier discussed earlier. We're constantly shedding the outermost layer of dead skin cells. Another component in the epidermis is melanin. This is a brownish pigment, and the amount found varies from one individual to another. The next layer down is the dermis. The dermis is strong and elastic. It has the ability to give and stretch. It also houses most of the skin's accessory structures, things like nerve endings, blood vessels, hair follicles, and sweat glands. A little sidebar here. For a wound to bleed, it has to penetrate at least to the dermal layer. The last layer we'll discuss is the subcutaneous layer. You may hear it called sub-Q or SQ in the field. It is composed primarily of fat and connective tissue, and this serves to allow the sub-Q layer to do its job of insulating the body and anchoring the dermis to the body. The subcutaneous layer varies greatly in thickness depending upon which part of the body you're looking at. For example, compare the eyelids to the belly. And that's it for the A&P part of this lesson. I'd like to close with just a couple of other thoughts regarding the integumentary. First, many of the injuries you will deal with in the field will involve this structure. Lacerations, abrasions, stuff like that. All of these are injuries to the skin. Additionally, the skin is a valuable assessment tool. Its appearance can change dramatically in some patients due to serious medical issues. For example, pale skin or pallor can indicate blood loss or shock. Cyanosis, a blue color, is often present in patients with breathing problems. Well, that's it. We've discussed the function and the parts of the integumentary system. Good luck, and we'll talk again in another one of the online EMT lessons.